Be the change. Some days are easier to show up and be the change. Just show up anyway and do your best. Because you deserve it, because your life is going to improve, because you want to maybe experience the best life that you can while you're here on planet Earth. Esther and Abraham Hicks says, all desires are answered. Your desire, whatever vibrational desire that you are putting out there, all desires are answered, all requests are granted, and no one is left unanswered, unloved, or unfulfilled. When you stay aligned with your energy stream, you always win, and somebody else does not have to lose for you to win. There is always enough. And then, dream cards. Yes, we are offered, including here, we are offered advice from all directions on how to best live our lives. The best way for you is the way you choose for yourself. Again and again. Every morning. Every morning, choose for yourself. What do you choose for yourself? Direction. What direction do you want to go in? What do you choose for yourself? Because yes, there's going to be advice everywhere. Transformation showed up. So we're going to put that right there. Flew out. So what do you choose for yourself? Choose transformation. Show up every day and choose transformation. And your life will transform into the better. Show up all day, every day, and be daunting, miserable, and that's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get. And the World card in the past position is great because closing out cycles. Closing out cycles is a beautiful thing. It means that maybe you broke a habitual pattern of thinking that you had. Perhaps you noticed a program that keeps going. Like these days, I'm noticing a program that I have in only choosing people that I can fall in love with or be interested in. Only choosing people who are unavailable. So I'm noticing the pattern, and now I can work on that. And this is our shadow. And I just watched a little video on YouTube. Carl Jung, the shadow is like everything that you don't want to know about yourself. Everything you don't really want to admit to yourself. Everything that you don't really want to know about yourself. Everything that is unconscious. These are the things that you don't want to present to the world around you. And let's see what we got here. Root chakra, natural world. I belong. I belong. Death card. Transformation. Perhaps, you know, every morning when you wake up, you kind of have to choose to what you're going to do with the day. So today, not feeling my best self, but then I woke up and I was like, okay, I'm going to be pouting a little bit today. Not my energy is not that high. And then I realized that, you know, I can choose. I can lay here in bed and be depressed, or I can get up, move a muscle, move a thought, get going, and then things will change in how you think about things. Perhaps also just sit down like now is meditation, being connected, not planning about the future, not thinking about the past, just being present in the moment. And so every morning it's a choice that we can make. And be deliberate about it. And choosing transformation is the biggest gift that you can give to yourself. It is looking within, seeing what kind of thought patterns, what kind of emotional reactions or urges do you have. Like, do you feel like when you stop, okay, so you're standing there talking to your boss, and they are like saying something stupid to you or whatever, and then you're like, in your head, you'd be like, this is the 10th time I want to kill that person or whatever, and then you'd be like angry, but you'd be smiling and you'd be polite because you couldn't say that because it wasn't the right circumstances, or it would have been inappropriate to do it in the world anyway. So, but being honest about those reactions that we have and not try to sugarcoat it or sweep it under the good old carpet and do stuff like that, just being honest with the reaction that you have. Now you know that it's a trigger. There is something within this person that is triggering you. That's a great thing. Now you know, now you can deal with it. So transformation. And transformation is, it's better to be angry than depressed, because depression just, then you don't want to do anything. You don't have any energy. You don't want to get up. You don't want to get out. You don't want to think. You don't want to do anything. You just want to sit there and wallow and be done with it. And so being angry and find some kind of anger or some kind of passion to carry you through your transformation is very valuable. And if you cannot find it within yourself, I found it very useful to feed on other people's anger to get me going, so that I could listen to music, rap music, stuff, rock music, rap music, that would keep me going. I would feed on the energy so that I got up and I got out and I could start the transformation process. And so being surrounded by passionate action is always a good thing. And whatever it is, you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know all the things. Just start something. Be passionate about something, start it, and then it will keep rolling. And every day, every morning you wake up is a new choice. And this is about, okay, how we humans, we think that we are like above everything. And we are though above everything. We are though the smartest thing that is here though on planet Earth. That is us humans. We are the smartest whatever thing or whatever that is here on planet Earth. And everything else is in our command. Which, yeah. You look at the news, you look at the pollution, you look at just the collective emotional environment in the news or whatever, and we are not smart. We're not doing a good job. We're doing a really crappy job here on planet Earth, to be honest. Like, some people are really trying to nourish what we have and know that they are a part of nature. Like, you can never be set apart from something that is. We all are, and it all is. So we have to be a part of it. Has to, like, I go back to nature when I die. I pop out of nature when I be born. So there you are. How can you not be a part of everything else around? And then, and yet we have such little respect for it. So here is a reminder and a message that I am one with nature, and nature is one with me. And it cannot be any different. I honor the rhythms of nature and flow with the seasons. Allowing the seasons come through, allowing things to be changeable, be adaptable into the changes. Transformation, like allowing the seasons. With transformation, there are seasons too. You have to first be willing to. So you have to be, okay, I do feel like I'm not satisfied with where I am in my life. I'm not satisfied with who I am as a person. I am not satisfied. I don't feel satisfied. I don't feel calm, content, and having a good old time. Okay, that's the first step. Now you realize that. Okay, so there's some discomfort that you want to get rid of it. Okay, how do you do that? Well, now that you know that there's something that you would like to change within yourself, if you could, then now you can start to look at your thoughts. What are your thoughts doing? What are you thinking about? What are your thought patterns? Do you have any, and write it down. Get familiar with what is going on. And then go with the season. Allow yourself to get these epiphanies and get these awakenings and these aha moments, and just allow them to come into your life. And if you should be like, oh gosh, this is too much, I'm changing too much, this is scary, now I'm scared, why don't you just allow yourself to try it? And when you allow yourself to try it, then you can always say, no, I didn't like it, so I'm just gonna go back to closing up my heart and living my life the way I did before. And then you'd be, okay, that's okay, you can make that choice. But how can you really make that choice if you didn't try the other thing at least? Gave it a try. You can try it, and then if you don't like it, you can always go back. So transformation. And then blockage can be like celebration or lack of it. Perhaps sometimes in the transformation, process, you'll be by yourself because it's your internal process. It's individual process. It looks different for all of us, which is good. And then, so sometimes it can be a lonely place. You can be by yourself for a while, perhaps. And then the blockage can be maybe lack of social interactions. That can be a blockage. And it can be also a blockage with too much social interactions. Perhaps every time you want to socially interact, you go to a bar or you go to somewhere where other people go and meet up. And then it becomes a interesting, unconscious journey throughout the night. Whereas people become unconscious, drinking too much, doing all that, and then you are stuck with the consequences afterwards. Going with the seasons, choosing different things, choosing different ways of interacting, choosing different ways to find connections, choosing different ways to take out the pieces of the puzzle that does not empower you and it does not make you feel more authentic. It takes you away from who you are. It makes you more unconscious. And those things, you know what they are in your heart. If you are honest with yourself. If you put on the mask, this is who I am outside to the world, and all that stuff going on inside, I'm not really feeling it. No, that's not happening. So I'm just going to go and play pretend. And then you're missing out on the gift. You're missing out on the gift. So I walk upon this earth gently but firmly, as my ancestors have done before me. I know when to move forward and when to retreat. Know thyself. I know when to move forward and when to retreat, when to cultivate and when to grow, when to yield and when to harvest. I belong. And just by being here, someone said, if you have a birth certificate, you are, then you belong just as much as the next person. And the King of Wands energy is showing up here with assertiveness, compassion, passionate energy, going from maybe being uncertain to be more confident, or going from feeling like you don't belong, like I'm different, I don't belong with the other ones, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe you are just more awakened than them. You understand a little bit more about who you are really as a person, whereas the people around you, they're still stuck in their ego, like what kind of job they have, what kind of income, what kind of a car they drive, what kind of house they have, what kind of how many kids, what kind of color they have, what kind of things, and all these things that are just our ego. And then when you start awakening, you're awakening to your soul's mission, and then you know that you belong. You know that you know that you know that of course you belong. And so subconsciously, the wounded warrior, the Nine of Wands, is showing up, and with so if you have had to go through trials and tribulations, maybe even for the majority of your life, like if that was your childhood, then odds are that unless you got help and someone showed you the patterns, they showed you the way out of it, unless you got help, chances are that you have been repeating the traumatic experiences that you had from your childhood. You'd be repeating them into your adulthood unless you deal with them. This is why it's such a great gift to do the transformation. Wake up every day and ask, what is one thing that I can transform within myself to bring me closer to my highest good? And so being a wounded warrior is going to carry a lot of consequences. And so there's nothing wrong with being a wounded warrior, and there's nothing, it just is what it is. And being that is going to, it's going to hold a lot of challenges. Because with the wounds comes the indecision, with wounds comes uncertainty, with wounds comes suspicion, with wounds come anger, with wounds come sadness, with wounds come grief, with wounds come blockages, sometimes strong blockages that we don't even know them anymore. And so being willing to wake up in the morning and say yes to transformation, say yes to moving towards becoming the King of Wands that you know that you have the potential to be within yourself. And the wounded warrior is showing up here. And also the beautiful thing here is that the world card is showing up in the past position, which means that recently it looks like you did close out a cycle. That would be a major transformation, and that is something to be celebrated. Sometimes we don't celebrate our wins enough. I know I am guilty of that, to celebrate the wins, because I know I know what the final thing that I'm trying to do is. And so the little things, they're just like, it takes forever sometimes. And then, but it's still important to remember to celebrate it and be grateful for the progress and be grateful for the process. And then when you're closing out cycles in your life, it means that you have done something meaningful for yourself. You've closed out lessons. You've closed out some programs that is running unconsciously. You have closed out some kind of repetitive thing that used to be occurring in your life over and over again. And once you close those cycles, how you close it, you just have to be aware of them. What you're aware of, and you put your attention to it, and your energy flows there, it will zero it out. So now you won't repeat the same lessons again. And taking on some new learning, taking on some new learning about finances, maybe setting out on a new journey. How can you gain more finances? How can you spend your time more wisely so that you can work smarter, not harder, and do all that to benefit your life in a better way? How can you do that? How can you rearrange the things in your life to be more clear so that you can scoop out the path that you need to do whatever it is that you are going to, whichever way that you have chosen. So the best way for you to live is the way that you choose to live. And you choose this again and again. So whichever learning, whatever kind of information you need to become the person and to have the life that can be that person that holds the life that you choose for yourself. So basically, how can you do that? And sometimes you need some little bit more information. Perhaps there's someone you know that can teach you because they have done it before. The justice card is also here. So if you have any court cases going on, if you have anything that is related to the law and order, anything that is related to give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and if you have anything of that going on, that there will be justice coming in for you. And so closing out cycles, taking in new lessons. And we are offered advice from every direction on how to best live our lives. So the best way for you to live your life is the way you choose to live your life. That would also mean that you would have to know what kind of programs do you have that has been imprinted in your brain before, that is just making you live your life in a certain way, that maybe you hadn't thought about it. You didn't think about it, you're just doing it automatically. And once you start to think about it, you'll see that, that's just because they told me that when I was like 8. And when I was 8, they told me that this is the way you have to live this life. This is the way you have to live your life. And so that really made a big impression on me. So now I'm 40, and now I still doing the same thing. And you can do that till you die. And if it's a good thing, and if you love it and you like it and you look at it, if you're conscious about it, it's good. You can keep it or you can let it go. But if you're unconscious about it, it's just going to be something that you do and it won't fulfill you. It's worth looking into the things, and you can keep all the programs and all the routines that you love, and now you choose them. You don't do them just automatically, and you can have a different kind of appreciation for it. Sometimes also it's good to present yourself as someone who is different, someone who can think outside the box and do things differently. Present yourself as someone who is capable of using their own mind to figure out strategies or to think about things in a different way, figure it out in a different way, and be grounded, like root chakra, the natural world, being grounded in nature, like go for a walk, do things that are outside that can bring you into groundedness. Listen to grounding music on YouTube, or find something that is connected with grounding and root chakra and all that, so you can stay grounded in the choices that you make, and be grounded as you move towards the future with the choice. What kind of life do you want to live? What does your dream life look like? And then how can you move towards that? Sometimes the good old things that we have, we are afraid, of course, to leave it. And but sometimes also you create some kind of a foundation. And then you have that foundation. Now you have the job, you have the kids, you have the home, you have the car. and then there's something missing and you don't know what it is. And then, so you have things, you have your foundation set, but there's still like this need within, like there's something missing, like this can't be all, this cannot be it. And so you are going to be brave, and you're going to walk a little bit outside of the norm that you have already put in there. And then you walk out and you figure out, what is it that you need to feel more fulfilled in your life? What would that be? A passion project? Would it be something that you could do on the side? Would it be taking up a new sports activity? Would it be to take better care of your body? And I'm saying that because the 8 of Cups is here. And the 8 of Cups typically goes out to find some kind of a fulfillment. And it finds the wish fulfillment in the 9 of Cups, which is right above it, which would be perhaps taking care of your body, taking care of your emotional self. Perhaps you need to find something that gives you a little bit more satisfaction to do it. Perhaps you need a partner in your life. Perhaps you need a friend in your life. Perhaps you need a new passion project that you work on. Perhaps you need to take up activities so you can start working on strengthening yourself, strengthening your frame, working on how to feel better throughout the day, how to feel more fulfilled, how to feel like you have a purpose because you do belong. And choosing every day to do something that is taking you in the direction of the life that you want to live. Sometimes people can see you as someone who has it all. You have it all together. You know what you're doing. You're good at managing your time, your money, your resources and everything. And you take care of yourself, and you seemingly is so happy, and you don't need anybody and all that stuff. And then that might be true, but then we all have needs anyway, so you might not need them for those things, but you'll need people in your life for other things anyway. Like, it's good to have good people in your life. It's good to have support. It's good to feel safe. It's good to have friendships. It's good to have fun. It's good to build each other up, and it's good to have understanding and love and compassion and caring in your life. And the beautiful light in me, it honors, respects, and it loves. The same beautiful light in you, and you belong, and I belong, and we all belong, and that's a good thing. And until next time, namaste.